Friends and family, thank you for joining me in this video. In this video, I talk about laser hair removal. If you're interested in what that is like and exactly, what happens during those treatments and whether it worked or not and how it affected brown skin people, stay tuned. About 4 or 5 years ago, I decided I was going to try laser hair removal for my underarms. And this is the reason why, okay? My underarms have always been really, really dark. Even when I shave, it has this dark shadow that makes it look like there's hair there, even when there's no hair there. So what I realized was that the hair was so coarse, so just the friction was causing the darkening of the skin. And the other thing is I have hyperpigmentation issues, so that just exacerbated the problem. And so I said, you know what? The solution is going to be laser hair removal. So I did some research and talked to some people. I wanted to use somebody I know has used before. And that's exactly what I did. So I got a recommendation and I went to visit this place. It's a place that is set up for brown-skinned people primarily, because laser treats our skin differently. So you can't go to just anybody for laser hair removal. You have to go to somebody who specializes in brown skin, if you're brown-skinned, okay? Especially if you have that hyperpigmentation issue, which a lot of us brown skin with melanin in our body have that problem. So I got there, the consultation was great. There are lots of course, pictures and posters and excerpts from magazines and things like that that showed, accolades of wonderful things these people have done. So the consultation went great, and they told me what the process is. It is basically a first set of 4 weeks of laser treatment in the underarms, and then a second set of 4 weeks. So it's 8 weeks altogether. Now, the 4 weeks, they do the first one, and then you wait 6 weeks, and then you do the next, and then it's 6 weeks. So this stretches for months, just FYI. And I have to tell you about what the place looked like. The place was nice and beautifully clean. It looked like a dermatologist's office blended with a massage kind of place, right? So they have those beds and all those fancy instruments, So I decided to do it. I waited for a coupon, of course, and I got one. You pay for 3 sessions and you get the 4th free. So that was the deal. So anyway, I had to shave like the night before and put no deodorant or anything on before I got there. Don't shave the day off because your skin is tender. You want to shave the day before, or maybe at most 2 days before. So I went for my first session, just like when you go to get a massage, you take everything off and then they give you the towel thing, wrap to put around your chest. And then you lie on that bed, right? That narrow little bed that you lie on. And I had to lie there face up. And they started it. Now this machine has like an end like this. It looks exactly, the end of it is like this. It's smooth though, right? And then they put this like a gel thing in your armpit, and they rub some in here so that it's able to move smoothly. And as it is moving, it is shooting this laser, and it's going pss, 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 each time. The very first time when they were doing it, they were using something else that was blowing very cold air. It's like ice. So I didn't feel but a tiny little sting, like a slight pinprick. It's almost like just before the pin really pricks you, it just, comes out. So just before you'd feel the pain, it would come up, which was excellent. So I'm like, okay, I could do this. So they did it all right here, and they did it all right here. And it took at most 7 to 10 minutes, at most. And then when they were done, I started to feel the tenderness. Woo, yeah. And so they gave me cortisone cream to put there to help with the tenderness. So that was the first session. 6 weeks later, the second session, And again, I had to shave because hair did come. After between the first and second session, I did grow some hair, my normal amount of hair. I was like, okay. And they told me that I wouldn't see the difference till maybe the third session maybe, which was fine, okay. So I went through it again. By the second session, there was no blowing cold air, guys. It was the laser straight. Oh, come talk about pain. I don't know if I've told you that I'm a wimp for pain. I am a wimp for pain. Let me just tell you, I can't take it. So, and it was a different room, and the machine looked different to me. And oh my gosh, yes, I was in pain. Let me just tell you. And it lasted about 7 minutes. I felt like it lasted for half an hour, like eternity. It was forever. Yeah, it was painful and I was sweating bullets. Now let me tell you, for this one, I shaved 2 days before. Can I just tell you that the hair just seems to start to grow immediately? Because as she was shooting the laser, I started smelling burned hair. So my hair was burning. That is why they're telling you to shave before you go. Oh my gosh, yeah. If you've had your hair stretched when you were a kid, you had the straightening with a comb that they put in the hot fire, and then they put it, yeah, and your hair burns. That's the scent. So I was smelling this the entire time. But anyway, so that was done, and yeah, I needed like 2 tubes of cortisone in each armpit because it was just ridiculous. My armpits felt like they were on fire. So anyway, so the next few series were similar, same kind of, situation. What I did was, after the first 4, I took a break and waited for the next coupon, which came in about 4 months. And so my hair did grow back, but it grew sparse. It wasn't as thick. My hair in my armpit was like carpet when it grows. It's like commercial carpet. That's how thick it was. But it grew more sparsely, which is great, although I was hoping that it wouldn't grow at all. It took about 3 months for my hair to grow back. I went back for the next 4, and it was the same ordeal. And before I forget, so when I took that break, the color in my armpit was still the same. It was still very dark when there was no hair. It was still very dark, and it looked like there was hair there. And I had told the dermatologist, I said, this is my problem with that, with the darkness in my armpit. So she gave me this cream that had hydroquinone in it. By the second month, my armpits were perfect. The hair was growing back, but the melanin, the intense hyperpigmentation the problem wasn't there. So that was about 2 months, right? And then all that darkness was gone. It was like my regular skin color, which was excellent. So I stopped using the hydroquinone. About a month later, that place got even darker than before. So by the 3rd month of no laser, my armpits were even darker than before. I'm like, okay, So all that to say, don't use hydroquinone because the darkness does come back when you use hydroquinone. You'll have to keep maintaining it. And even that, I'm hearing it's not good for your liver or your kidneys anyway, so don't use that. There are other things to use, which I'll probably talk about in another video. So I went back for the second session of the 4 treatments. And at this point, she could see which parts were good, like the exterior parts, like right here was good, like right here and right here were good. But down in the middle, lower part, that hair just wouldn't die. Okay, so she focused on those, the lower crevice-like areas and did more of the laser there. So anyway, at the end of the 8th treatment, I said, okay, I'm done. This seems good because at that point, in between each session, the hair wasn't growing, right? So I think like between the 3rd and the 4th session, no hair grew at all. It was about 6 weeks, or they extended it to about 8 weeks for the 3rd and the 4th session, and nothing grew. So I was just excited. So I was done, right? So let me keep going. I said, okay, so let me start treating the color, and I treated the color of the area. So everything was good, and it felt like a baby's butt. It was just awesome. It felt like this. It was just excellent, right? And then about 6 months later, the hair started to grow back, but it was sparse. It was very sparse. It's still that same last area where she was targeting to try to get the hair to stop growing there. That is just that same area. The hair is still coming. So I guess that was the densest area of what you call hair follicles or whatever, but that's it. So what I am seeing though is that I have a lot of ingrown hairs, and I think that also contributes to the darkness. So that is what I'm going to treat next. But just know that 8 sessions may not 100% stop the hair from growing in your underarms. Anyway, friends and family, that's all I have for you. I hope this was informative. Let me make sure I answered everything. Dermatologist, how it looked over there, how many treatments, how many weeks interval, how did it feel, how did it affect my skin. And I told you all that and how I prepped for it. So that's it. Yeah, I covered everything. So thank you again for joining me as always. I appreciate your support, and I hope to see you again in the very next video. Bye. And stay blessed. So real quick, one thing I forgot to tell you is that it is normal, according to research, that the hair actually grows back after about 2 years. The only thing is it grows back lighter, of course, which I said before. It is more sparse. It is not as dense and thick as the original growth that you had before. However, it is normal that after a couple of years, you get hair under, wherever it is that you had the hair removal done, the laser hair removal done. In a couple of years, the hair does come back. So advise yourself, if you still want to do it. I think it was worth it because the hair is not as dense again, and the underarms aren't as dark as they used to be. But I would have preferred no hair at all. That's what I thought would happen. But obviously my research wasn't in depth enough to realize that it was not going to be that kosher, that actually I was going to get hair back there at some point. But anyway, again, I have no regrets. I am happy that I got it done, and I'm happy that the hair that is coming back isn't as dense, and it's easier to control and to treat. So, and that of course it takes about 3 months. I think I said that before. It takes about 3 months before it actually comes, and it's just that little spot that you saw. So that's about it. Okay, so thank you again for watching the video, and I'll see you soon in another video, okay? Don't forget to come back. So this video is about hair removal in the armpit. Brace yourself.